I'm here to show off the product that we made. We build agents that work on really big data for really large enterprises and work behind the scenes for you autonomously to do coding and stuff without doing a lot of configurations. I don't actually know, just actually for me to have a pulse of the audience, how many people here write code of any kind? OK, feels like 50-50. And then does anyone write a lot, like spend more than 50% of the code that they write is like SQL? OK, so not a lot of data people. That's also totally fine. Cool, OK, so for everyone here, if anyone has in the past 3 years thought to themselves, why can't I ask ChatGPT about my business data? And then somebody says, yes, of course you can ask ChatGPT about your business data. And then they point it at a Google Drive or a SharePoint or something like that. And you're like, OK, wait, that's not what I meant. I wanted it to be able to tell me, how do I increase my revenues? Which is obviously the question that everyone wants to have answered. And to be able to do that, you have to actually be able to process much more data than is in just your Google Drive and your I guess, like SharePoint and all those files. And so this is kind of like how we try to position ourselves. Right now, there are kind of two waves of like AI products that are coming out. One are the general productivity apps, the ChatGPTs, the Gleans, the Notions of the world. These are great products. They connect to Google Drive. They connect to, like, they're multi-source. They can do web search. They can do browser search. They can use browser for you. They can connect to all of your Jira tickets, Atlassian tickets, all those things. That's really cool, and it's like productivity, and it's very great. And it's all for data that fits on your computer, right? These are PDFs, spreadsheets, PowerPoints, Word documents, stuff like that. Now, if you get into an enterprise, which I imagine some of the people here might know of enterprise, given where we stand, you are probably going to start dealing with much more data than can fit on your computer. You're going to be dealing with trillions of rows, petabytes of data that do not fit on one computer, and that's what we call like big data compute. The big data really like starts at about like about 100 gigabytes or so, and then like anything beyond that kind of requires like multiple computers. And that's traditionally dominated by things like Snowflake and Databricks and Tableau and ERPs and CRMs and HRS and all those systems with cool acronyms that nobody really knows what they do. And really what they do is they store rows and rows and rows and trillions of rows of tables with hundreds of thousands of tables that have weird and complex join relationships that are huge nightmares. And imagine the 4 people in the back who write SQL all the time hate working with those systems because that's just kind of every day. And yeah, so we built an agent. It ostensibly, we give it a bunch of technical stuff that I can talk about or not talk about, because I don't think this audience is going to be super interested in the super deep technical stuff. But we've given it the ability to read and map every single one of those databases over there without migrating the data out. This is very hard. And then also like be able to pull that data on the fly and generate a very, very large computer, basically, that it can use to analyze all that information. Because otherwise, that data is going to live in like their Oracle servers in your headquarters basement that you're never going to see, managed by a guy that you're never going to see. And that's not fun. And it's very hard to get that data, because normally it takes a very long time to get a question answered back to you. And so, yeah, we've been around for like 3 years. We work with some of the largest companies in the world, including like Scale AI, who's tried to build this in-house 20 times, and Lumeris, which is a value-based care. They do healthcare, and they've tried to build this in-house like 7 times. And really, like, this is just a really hard general problem. And now we deploy this on top of things like Epic and Tableau and Redshift and Snowflake and Redash and Databricks and all those things. But yeah, like, you know, we do a lot of industries, all that stuff. The approximate gist of like what you should think about, like in terms of, oh my God, are they coming for my jobs, is not really. Right now, if you think about like opportunities to do data analytics as like a curve, right now, like this cost is approximately what it costs to send a human who you pay $250,000, $300,000 a year to do something for a month. And it's very expensive. And so you can only send them to do things like, what is the most valuable accounts we should go after in Texas or something. But really, like the goal is to be able to make that possible, to train agents that can do what that human can do. And now a single human does the thing for Texas. And now you can like train like 10,000 agents to go on and run it for Houston, every single zip code, running it every single day, every single hour, every single time there's a decision that you want to make. You can do it at a finer and finer and finer grain. There's a whole thing, economic theory around labor value and stuff. But yeah, in short, like it should theoretically make every engineer more productive. And there's an infinite demand for engineering and analytics, not like a finite demand. And so you should be able to do this, get 10 times the agents, and try to convince your boss that you should be paid 10 times more. And yeah, so this is our CFO. It's funnier when he's in the room. But so sometimes this is the kind of question, and I can switch over to the demo. But it's basically like somebody will ask you, like someone on your team, everyone's got this question. The title used to be like the guy nobody likes, but it was like, can you see this number is correct? I don't know where it came from. It comes with a screenshot. The screenshot is like is of a chart that came out of nowhere, and you don't really know where to find that chart, and you have no idea how to tell them like. Right, like tomorrow is the board meeting. You're like 20 minutes until the board meeting. You can't ask your data analyst, and like everything's like terrible. And so like and like there are 4,000 tables in your database, and so there's no way for you to find it. And so now I can show you the demo, which is I'm gonna put the mic down. This demo was planned a long time ago. So this is like a report that somebody gave me. Let's say they give me this like chart. This is our usage number. It's going up. Wow, that's so cool. I don't know if it's true. Board members are going to be angry if I'm lying. So I take this number. I go into like go to market or something, and or one of our other channels, and I can say like at Anna, can you? I need to type it. Can you check if this is true? If true, tell me I'm not gonna get fired. Otherwise, the board will be very angry. Please, I have like 20 minutes left. And yeah, like structurally, like I like if I get this report, if I get an image like this, somebody like sends me this message when I used to be the head of data at some company where I like do data stuff. I would like lose my mind. This is like not a fun message to get because like your first thought is like, wow, there's no context here, and I have to chase down the numbers and where do these numbers come from and all that stuff. I did this thing where I changed my default browser to Safari to try to make this demo work, but now it's trying to open it in Safari, but I'm not logged in Safari. Nobody can see my password, god damn it. I'm just gonna go to the thing, refresh, I think it'll be here. New thread. Yes. So here's the message. Here's the very angry. Here's the same image. You can see it like traces back to the Slack, and the agent is going to work, right? So the first thing the agent does is exactly what a data scientist would do. Not that anyone here necessarily knows what a data scientist would do in this moment, which is to basically look through all the docs and desperately search for look for all the keywords on the image and look for like all the mentions of those keywords, right? So like the image has a word like ACU on it. So it's searching like what is an ACU? Like this guy just make up a number and it's searching and searching. It found like a document called acus.markdown. Now it's gonna start querying the database. For anyone who doesn't speak SQL, what this is basically doing is it's literally saying, show me all the tables in the database. And then it's like going like one by one through every single table to look at every single table to try to see like which table has the information it's looking for. And it's so like the agent runs for a while, right? Like these agents will like run for like 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes in the background, like when you go to sleep or something. Like you'll like set it to run like before you get to work because there's like a report you have to hand in, and it will crawl through everything, right? It is like writing code, it's checking the code, it's looking at the error statements, it's fixing the code until like, you can find the right queries, find the right accuracy, and all of that stuff. Just realized I'm not recording, which means Ivy's gonna get mad at me. And yeah, so this is, so like the agent's gonna do this. I'm gonna skip past this, or like, I'll come back to it, and you'll see like the actual answer. I'm gonna show you some other things that we built out, which is like this thing over here that you're seeing is called like an ontology. We call this like a map. There's like demo data that I generated. It's basically like the way the agent like crawls the database and builds out. We've like had these like build out to like hundreds of thousands of tables before, where we have these things with like crazy amounts of volume, crazy amounts of like connectors, crazy amounts of infrastructure behind this as it's trying to like figure out how to do all the joins, all the appropriate joins against each other. So there's the map. We can also like once it's able to retrieve that data, it's also able to do really cool stuff like build dashboards, right? Again, all synthetic demo data that I was trying to use to illustrate for another airline. But you can have it made like Streamlit artifacts. You can make it like build dashboards on the fly. So if you ever thought to yourself, like, why can't my data scientist make me a Tableau dashboard in like 30 seconds? I don't think you've ever thought yourself that because you care about your data scientists on your team and you treat them like respectful humans. This is a data scientist you can treat not respectfully and be like, please make me a dashboard right now, or I'm going to get fired. And it'll like go through all the stuff. And like this was like one-shotted in like Streamlit. And you can save this, and now just run forever for you. Yeah, that's all cool. The real scale for the product is basically when you like start scheduling it to run autonomously in the background for a series of tasks. Let's say you have a person who is trying to do root cause analysis any time, like your marketing conversion funnel or something, or some number you care about drops below like 2%, and then you go, oh my god, that's so terrible, it's dropped below 2%. I'm going to investigate that. Theoretically, you kind of want to investigate it whenever it goes drop like 0.05% if you're a really big company, because you might be spending billions of dollars, and so you can have it step through. You can basically copy like the instructions that the human is doing, and have it like replicate all that analysis. And then you can schedule it to run every day, or schedule it to run every time the number dips below 2% or 0.5% or whatever percent at like every single grain, and basically do like kind of a for every single permutation of zip codes, and every single hour or every single one of these metrics, if anything changes, please alert me. And it's like kind of like having 250 or whatever the numbers add up to coworkers that are going to be slaving away for you infinitely forever. And now you get all that work done. Yeah, we do things like data migrations. This is a data migration agent where if you have like data, again, nobody's going to care about this. A lot of big companies will spend like $50 million on Deloitte storing data, and then like moving that data from like this box in your basement to like the cloud in Azure or something. And so like this entire agent is like designed to like do that like workload, like map out the pipelines, do that workload. But something that people here might be able to engage with a little bit more normally is, I can also show you the final report that I came out with, which is, yeah, it showed it's missing significant data from like external deployments. Did all the numbers. It seems like April, May, and June roughly corresponded to correct. It slightly undercounted July and like some other stuff. And it basically says you should not get fired. Chart has significant data accuracy. Thank you for telling me I should not get fired. ACU usage is higher than reported, which is good. Don't worry about it. It's actually better than you thought. Thank you AI for telling me that I did a very good job. But yeah, let's say you wanted to use this product today and you don't have a lot of internal data that you've already connected this to, then what could you do? I want to deploy coworkers at work to do a bunch of stuff for me, and I don't know what to do. Well, here's what you could do. You could go to, okay, so normally I never like advertise ourselves because I feel uncomfortable with advertising, but if you go to like, if you go to this URL and you create an account, because you can actually just do that right now. We forgot to like set up the gateway to force you to only have a paid account to be able to access it yet. You'll be able to like go to this UI and like start to analyze data right away from like a demo database that we set up. If you know how to connect it to a database, you can go to the connectors page and just connect it to the database. We support basically all databases that are compatible with SQL, and so you could start doing that. If you don't know what SQL is, absolutely no worries, because you can also just have this set up a playbook. Right, where you're going to set up a playbook. This is going to be a recurring autonomous agent. And let's say I'm going to call this agent, let me know, let's say, I am a new analyst at Microsoft, and I want to impress my boss with how much I know about Microsoft. Look up the latest news and give me a fun fact, numerical report and analysis that I can share that increases the chances that I get promoted or something. Oh no. And wow, that was terrible. I'm gonna hit the thing again. Nope. Invalid. Hit it again. Nope. Invalid. Well, it'll work in the next like. What is happening? Okay, yeah. So it'll work now. I set it to a blank database, so it like got mad at me. But the agent will start running. It'll go through. It'll basically only do web searches, and after it does a bunch of web searches, it'll come back with like a report that's going to be really cool. It'll have a chart. It'll like tell you like, oh, like this is the impact, and you should like say this. Ideally, also like if you provided more context about like, hey, like this is my job title, and my boss is like this person. Like this is kind of what I care about. And then you can go back here, and then you can set this report, if you like the report, to like refresh daily, and then add your email to this, and then you'll be able to get like an email update on like how to get promoted 101 into perpetuity. This is not a very useful like version of like the product for me, because like obviously like I can't promote myself, and like we like really built this for like really at scale, like petabytes of data, but like for a normal audience, like of normal human beings that like, you know, don't spend all their time like bashing their heads against the terminal, writing code against giant tables. Yeah, this should come out with something cool, and I'm hoping that it comes out with something cool in a shorter period of time than it takes for everyone here to get sick of my voice. And then you can look at that and be like, wow, I want to do that too. Yeah. It's writing a lot of stuff, okay? It's doing its best. If you tell it to like Fermi estimate, like which is like what the upside is, and provide an insight on like what kind of marketing campaign, you could do that too. Oh, cool. Now I made some charts. Now it's going to make some other stuff. Try to turn it into a whole report at the end. Yeah. I think that's basically all of it, unless people want to like wait to see the final report. I think it's going to say something about like revenue dominance and cloud supremacy. I think it's just gassing Microsoft up and saying that you guys are really cool. Like AI revenue, 173, 75%. Wow, that's so cool. Nearly tripling in 1 year. 230,000. I'm just going to read this until like the thing is like ready, or sorry, or someone kicks me off the stage. Oh, yeah, and then at the end, it'll like give you a report in your email. I can check my email, but I'm worried that there are like emails that I'm not allowed to share in there. But there's a lot of like it's like really cool. I have like a bunch of these that give me like news updates on like random stocks that I'm tracking, because like I have too much money in like risky investments that I probably shouldn't be investing in. Oh, cool, and it's come back. And yeah, like so like, you know, wow, look at this. I'm a new person at Microsoft, and like I can be like, I know so much about Microsoft. New proprietary AI models, MAI Voice 1 and Voice Preview, to reduce OpenAI dependency. Damn, you guys don't like OpenAI anymore. And you know, if you bring this to your 101 with your boss, they probably stare at you and be like, why are you telling me this? But if you want to really get that promotion, you just got to remind them that you guys had a record-breaking quarter. And so there's got to be some of that $70 billion that you can take home somewhere. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, come here, make an agent, or don't make an agent. Do whatever.